What's going on, guys? CryptoMark bring you another cryptocurrency video. If you guys didn't know, on this channel I show you guys how I make passive income with crypto. Today we're going to talk about, is it the right time to buy alts? Okay, is alt season coming? All right, it's a little different style video than I usually do, but I feel like it's something that we need to talk about. All right, so let's just go to CoinGecko. Right, I already have it pulled up. Let's look at the top gainers in Bitcoin, okay? Not dollars, in Bitcoin. Okay, so if you guys don't know, it doesn't make sense to hold alts if they're going down in Bitcoin, right? They may be growing in USD, and we'll take a look at some charts here in a second, but if they're dying versus, or if they're depreciating in Bitcoin value, you're actually better off just holding Bitcoin. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. So let's look at some of these, man. So Dogecoin, I actually do have some Doge. I bought it at 17 Satoshis. Let's take a look at that chart real quick. So that's up 77% in the last 7 days. But let's look at it over a longer time frame. Okay, so if we look at Doge, go up, where's my Doge at? Okay, so my Doge BTC, I bought it at 17 Satoshis because if you look at it on a larger time frame, you can see every time it hits these levels right here, kind of zoom in here, up in here, 16, 17 Satoshis, it always pops off. And I'm just kind of looking back at 2017, even back here, 28 Satoshis kind of popped off. Even back here, 25 Satoshis popped off. So in these lower levels, it kind of, Doge is an OG coin, so it kind of does the same thing over and over and over. So that's why I bought it and it's up. But if you look at it on a larger time frame, it's barely up in Bitcoin. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. So Doge is looking good. It looks like it wants to kind of continue up in Bitcoin value, so that's great. So you're actually multiplying your Bitcoin had you went into Doge, which is great because that's what we want. We want more Bitcoin. I mean, obviously dollars are great, right? But the more Bitcoin you get, ultimately the more money you should have in the long run. Okay, so just kind of think about that. Let's go back and see what else. Loop Ring, LRC. So this is up 74% in the last 7 days, 55% in the last 24 hours, 3% in the last hour. Let's take a look at LRC. So I have Loop Ring here in BTC. If you look at this on a large time frame, right, you can see it's pretty much been dying compared to BTC from inception. Yeah, there was this initial spike when it got listed. We're looking at it on Bitfinex, but I mean, look at it. You would have literally been just losing your Bitcoin value holding an altcoin like this. All right, just dying. Right now that it's popping up a little bit, if you zoom in here, if you bought it at the absolute bottom to like right now, you would have almost doubled your Bitcoin. Right? But is it absolutely time to start buying alts? I'm not sure yet. But I just want people to understand. I want people to understand that yes, they're some of them are just now popping off versus Bitcoin value, but if you look at it in USD, look at USD. USD is parabolic. It's going all-time highs now. So it's like you gain, let's say you double your Bitcoin bag, right? But you could potentially triple or quadruple your dollars. So look at the upside on this, over 150% in USD. So USD is pumping and it looks amazing, but Bitcoin chart doesn't look so amazing. So just always keep that in mind. What do you want? You want more Bitcoin? Usually people in crypto, especially if you've been in crypto for a few years, you understand you want more Satoshi, you want more Bitcoin. So if you put in 0.1 Bitcoin into an alt, you want that 0.1 to grow to like 0.3, 0.4. You want to get more Bitcoin, you can sell your alt for Bitcoin. And then also let Bitcoin kind of appreciate in price too as well. So just some things to keep in mind, man. Is alt season here yet? I'm not sure. Polkadot is at 52% in the last 7 days. Let's take a look at that one. Polkadot, I think I have it up here. So I have DOT and BTC value. So it had this initial spike right here, but overall, if you were looking at it, if you were holding polka dots in September down to here. I mean, your portfolio is literally just dropping in Satoshi every single day, every week. This is a weekly time frame, so I go back to a daily. So yeah, there's some little spikes in here if you want to try to trade it and time it, but ultimately it's been going down. Yes, now it looks like they're trying to cross. You can see this little bullish cross here on the moving averages, so it's looking better. But overall, not entirely sure it's time yet. It might be, so we got to keep an eye on it. Is it growing in Bitcoin value? If it's growing in Bitcoin value, that's what's considered an alt season. If it's growing in dollars, that's not alt season, guys. All right, it has to be doubling or tripling or quadrupling your Bitcoin. Okay, so let's look at DOT in USD. Same thing here. USD, it looks parabolic. So most noobs will look at this chart and say, oh man, it's time to buy DOT. But the veterans in crypto will look at it and say, oh, well, overall, I'm looking at Doge, overall, it doesn't look that good. Yeah, it has a little bounce right here, but it could technically bleed out more, right? We don't know if this is the absolute start. So yeah, over the last 7 days, it's looking green. Over the last 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, it's not green. Okay, so just some things to keep in mind. Let's look at Uni, another really popular coin. Let's see what Uni is doing. Do I have Uni on here? Let me check Uni. Let's look at Uni Bitcoin and Uni Tether. Bitcoin value, overall, it's just been draining. Had you put 1 Bitcoin in here, you would have less than 1 Bitcoin, man. Okay. Yes, there's a little tiny spike here. It looks like it wants to cross bullish, just like the last chart we looked at. But overall, if we look at the Tether one looks way better. It looks way more bullish. Okay, so like I said, man, I'm just trying to show you guys an alt season is Bitcoin, it growing in Bitcoin in Satoshis, right? Not just dollars. So once we have, 50, 60, 100 coins popping off in Bitcoin value, that might be the start of the alt season. All right, just want to talk about that briefly. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt, man. Alt season could be here, or we could be waiting another 5-6 months. So they could literally bleed out in Bitcoin value for a little while longer. All right, let's jump into some dApps real quick. I'll do a quick dApp update. Bankroll flow still looking good. Prices pulling back a little bit from 38. It was at 38 yesterday. Now it's at 37, so dropped a little bit. I'm still, rolling. I'm still doing the 50% reinvest strategy. My team is growing quite quickly here over the last few days. So I appreciate you guys, all the support. Like I said, I did my airdrop yesterday. I'll be doing weekly airdrops, pretty much supporting everybody who's supporting me. All right. But it's looking good, man. It's still looking good. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Definitely check out Bankroll Flow. I do have a tutorial. It's a beginner's guide tutorial. So if you're absolutely new to crypto, you can follow that tutorial. All right. So let's jump into Wise. All right. So Wise is looking good, man. Overall, my problem with anything that's on ETH is still the fees. It's going to be the fees. It's just ridiculous, right? So you can see here, I staked 5,000 Wise for 365 days. So I have 57,500 shares. Shares is really what you're getting here, because when you stake, you're actually burning your Wise, and then they give you pretty much earning power. The more shares you have, the more Wise you ultimately get. So I'm just gonna play this one, just stake it out, and then I got this 1,500 that's staked for 180 days. So in about 6 months, I'll have some free Wise, not free Wise, but some extra Wise to play around with, to sell, to restake, whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. But the problem with anything on here is, I think I have some extra Wise here. So I have 900. If I decided to stake this, let's say 900, let's just say for 100 days, whatever, it doesn't even really matter. If I created the stake, look at this here, $43.54. That's very steep, I would say, to stake. So the ETH gas fees are still extremely high. They definitely came down from yesterday or the day before, where things were like $75, $85. So, but that's the problem with ETH. So I'm kind of like off of anything on ETH right now, just because you have to be a whale, man. It's a whale's game at this point. If you're not a whale, you don't really want to interact with ETH, right? Because like somebody who has $500 that wants to play around with, they're not going to be spending $40-something per transaction on Ethereum. That's insane, man. That's insane. All right. So that's what's going on with Wise. Just kind of, I already took my initial profit. Now I'm just sitting on these stakes here, and a little bit I have liquid. Okay. Even if I want to swap this really quick, let's say I said, hey, let me swap this. Let's see what the fee is on that. $20 to swap. That's still pretty steep to swap. So if I absolutely wanted to get out, I probably would sell it at $20, but still, man, you guys get where I'm coming from. So what else is going on? E2X, man, E2X, still in E2X. Definitely slowing down, just like everything else on ETH, right? For the same reasons I just mentioned, everything on ETH it's just too expensive to go in. So, but I do still have some stakes going on here. I have, I think 400K plus 439,000 E2X, earning some Ethereum here. So here's my rewards, and that should be done probably tomorrow night. I'll be able to collect this. Okay. Let's look at CSC ETH. Man, this is a new one. It's just bad timing all around. I like the DApp, just bad timing, the entries, the gas fees, all that stuff. I think it requires 4 transactions to get in, which could be pretty steep, man. So I do have some stakes on here going as well, but very difficult to recommend people go in for the same reason I keep mentioning, right? Those fees. So I got some stakes here, and they're growing, but they're really not growing as good as you would hope. Jackpot bonus, or this jackpot balance. I'm waiting for this jackpot balance to drop on everybody who staked in 12 days, 3 hours. So that's kind of why I initially got in, because I thought the jackpot feature was pretty cool, but ETH, just kind of bad time overall. But that's pretty much it right now. Looking at a few other things. Just wanted to do a quick update, talk to you guys about some altcoins. Let me know if you guys like this style of video. I don't usually look at charts and whatnot, but just let me know in the comments, man. Don't forget to like the video, comment below, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.